that always happen to me? Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kari. Today's video is going to be a 4-hour readathon, or read with me, because I don't know if I can call 4 hours a readathon necessarily, because that's pretty short, but that's the time I have today. And instead of reading new books or books that I want to, I'm actually going to be forcing myself to read books that I have already started. So I am in the middle of 3 different series right now, and I keep putting them down and reading other things because I am a mood reader, which means that I do not stick to my TBR ever. Like, it's very, very rare if I stick to my TBR. And I finally have time to sit down and finish some of these series that I've been reading before picking up anything else, because I just need to finish these series. It's not necessarily that I'm not enjoying them, it's just that I either get distracted or I find something else I want to read while I'm in the middle of reading this, and it's kind of a lull in the story, so I pick something else up. And I'm trying to be better about doing that because I want to read what I have and not continue to buy things. So I actually have a lot of unfinished books on my Kindle as well, but for today's video I wanted to try and focus on my physical books that I've been reading, because since getting my Kindle, I've noticed I definitely read on my Kindle way more than I read physical books. Like I said, I am currently in the middle of 3 books, and the first one is going to be Nightbane. This is the second book in the Light Lark series. I don't know if that's actually what it's called. I don't know. It's the second book after Light Lark. I don't know if it's called the Light Lark series. I don't remember what it's called. But I am a decent way through this one, and these books are actually quite small compared to the other 2 that I'm reading. I will probably start with this one. There are different continents, and each continent has a different ruler that has different powers. And so we're following our main character, Isla Crown. She's kind of in a love triangle right now, and I'm not really a big fan of love triangles, but I guess we'll see where it goes throughout the series, because when I first picked up Light Lark, expected it to be maybe a 2 to 3 book series. The 5th book is coming out in, either it just came out or it is coming out, and I'm not sure how to feel about that, because sometimes I feel like series don't need to be drawn out that long, especially when it's a love triangle is like the romance plot. I really hate when books draw it out for that long. Like, just pick one, come on. Like, we're 5 books into it, why do we have to keep doing this to them? So we're book 2 here, and I guess I'll see at the end of this book how I feel about it. I already purchased book 3, so I will at least read that eventually at some point. I do want to at least get through book 3 before I make a decision whether or not to continue buying the books and finish the series. And I feel like I'm already 3 books in. I'm kind of committed. I should just finish the series. I don't know. If you've read the series and you have opinions on it, please let me know below. Some people who love this series and some people who do not like it very much. I am liking it right now. It is very YA romance, so not really epic fantasy, which I like from time to time, so this is kind of nice. The second book I'm in the middle of is actually another second book in a series, which is The Hunger of the Gods. Oh my goodness, I almost just lost my bookmark. That would have sucked. This is book 2 in the Bloodsworn series. I loved the first book. It took me a while to get through it just because it's an epic fantasy, but I really felt like it was written super, super well, and I really just liked taking a break from like fantasy romance stuff, because as fun as that is, sometimes I just want a like adventure plot or like some sort of magic system and no like drama in the sense of like romance. So this book has been really good so far, starting book 2, following our 3 main characters so far, which is Varg, Orca, and Elvar. I think I'm pronouncing those correctly. But this second book follows them on their individual journeys. It is a multi-POV book, which I don't normally love. I usually like when it's either 1 POV or 2. So once it gets past like 2, I get kind of confused at times and it can become overwhelming for me. I actually really liked how the author wrote the first book in the series, and it was really easy to follow along. My bookmark keeps trying to leave this book and make me start over, and I do not want to do that. I'm only 10 pages in to this book, it looks like, but I don't want to start rereading those 10 pages. It's also very like Nordic mythology based, which I really like. Nordic mythology, I think it's super interesting. So the fact that the author really pulls from that and bases some of the characters and creatures on that, it creates a really interesting story. So I'm really excited to continue this one. This is just taking me a while to get through because it is quite a heavy read. It's just really dense, like the world building and the characters and the amount of detail that goes into these books is just sometimes a lot for me, to where I just want to read something more like of a fluffy, exciting, fast-paced romance. This is a little bit more slow and drawn out in a lot of the chapters. So I really enjoy it. It just takes me a lot longer to make progress, I think, in these books. And I've definitely found that listening to music while I am reading these books specifically, like having some sort of background music, actually helps me get into the book more. I think listening to music definitely helps me almost feel like it's like a movie in my mind. The third book is also by John Gwynne, and this is a different series. This is the Faithful and the Fallen trilogy, I believe, and this is Malice. I actually picked up this book before I got the trilogy for the Bloodsworn and started reading it, and obviously put it down quite a while ago because I got this book probably a year ago almost, and I got these around Christmas time. I only have the first book in this trilogy, so I think the reason why I read the other one first is because I got the box set for Christmas for my fiance. I was like, oh, it makes more sense to just start this one, and then if I like it, I'll continue with this and then buy the other books in this series, which I definitely will be, because although this book follows different characters and a different story, this one follows Corbin, Evnis, Veratus, and Nathir, I think is how you say it, Nathir. So this is a 1, 2, 3. This is a 4 POV book, so I think I struggled a little bit more initially with getting into this because, as I've already said, multi-POV is not my favorite, but I do appreciate it when it's done well, which this author does. This I think will be the last one I pick up today. I do not envision myself finishing this in 4 hours. That's crazy. I'll probably make some good, I don't even think I'll be able to touch this today, but I brought it just in case because it is one of my physical TBRs that I need to finish. Likely I will be able to finish this because these are much smaller. Like, look at the size of these books in comparison. Much smaller of a novel, and a little bit more of a lighter read. So it's not as much world building and dense of a plot. I'm gonna go ahead and start reading Nightbane and see how much progress I can make. I'm giving myself only 4 hours because we do have plans tonight, so I will definitely give you guys commentary as we go through and read these books. I will try and keep it spoiler free as possible. If there is anything that I'm going to say that's kind of a spoiler, I will put a warning before, so you are well aware that if you are going to read these books or want to read them and you don't want spoilers, to skip that portion of the video. I will make sure to add that in. I made a coffee too to give me some energy for the next 4 hours, hopefully. This is a brown sugar cinnamon salted latte. I don't know what to call this. Anyway, let's get to reading. It is currently 1:58, so I have until about 6 p.m. to get some reading done, so we will see if I can stay focused that long. I'm gonna pick out a playlist to listen to while I read my book. This is the one I picked. Currently on page 122. I'm still in the middle of reading this. I've only made 20 pages progress. It's only been like 15 minutes, but I feel like I'm so conflicted. I feel like I'm gonna talk about character names, so if you don't want to know about character names and who Isla has a love triangle with, skip to this time to avoid any names and spoilers in the sense of the romance. I'm not going to talk about what has happened or what will happen, but just her dynamic with the two. I'm conflicted because I feel like obviously Oro and Grimm are supposed to be completely polar opposites. One's night, one's day, you know, whatever. But like, she has all of these things that are happening in the context with her relationship with like Grimm that was like things in the past or whatever. And like, he's like made out to be like this super bad guy in this book, I feel like. I'm so conflicted because it feels like in the last book, it was super heavy towards like her and Grimm were in a romance, and then out of nowhere it was like Oro, she like is all about him now. I'm just so confused because I feel like it's so back and forth, and like there's certain things where it's like she's never been so happy in her entire life, and I'm like, is that true though? Like, based on book 1, can you pick a side, my lady? How are we only on book 2 and I'm already annoyed with this love triangle? How am I already annoyed? I think that's my biggest like qualm about this series so far, is that I used to like love triangles or whatever when I was like, I don't know, probably like in my teens or whatever. I was like, oh, you know, like Twilight, Edward, Jacob, like everyone's obsessed with that. But as I get older now, I'm just like, I just don't love it as much. I'm like, just pick one, bro. Like, why are you so wishy-washy? Like, you're just playing with everybody's feelings by not picking one. As I say, as I'm so frustrated at a fictional character from a fictional fucking story that I'm never gonna meet, never gonna talk to. Like, it's ridiculous that I'm this upset about it, but it's kind of pissing me off. I'm hoping that we get some clarity by the end of this book as to who she's leaning towards more, because right now, like, I'm like, it could be either. I don't know, maybe both. What's happening? Also, this playlist, I have never listened to it before, but I'm really liking it. So if you need a good fantasy playlist to listen to in the background while you're reading your books, you should check that one out. And honestly, because I can't stop talking about it now that I'm already complaining about it. I originally bought Lightlark when it first came out, whenever that was, like in 2021 or whenever. I read it immediately because it was all the hype. I loved it. And then I started seeing signs of the love triangle, and I was like, and then ever since then, I never picked up, from 2021 up until now, 2026, I did not pick up any of the other books because I was that upset about it being a love triangle. And then I saw these 2 books on sale at Target the other day, and I was like, okay, might as well just buy them. They're like $8 a piece at Target right now. It's hard because I'm so frustrated, but I can't put it down. So I will update you guys at hopefully the end of the book. It is currently only 2:18, so I'm gonna keep reading. What the hell? I hate this stupid. I am so annoyed. Oh, I've now collected myself, mostly emotionally. This book, her decisions are so confusing and infuriating, and I just can't. I'm gonna rate this a 3.5 stars because I'm annoyed at the stupid triangle thing again, like I keep saying, and it's pissing me off. And the ending just, what the heck is happening? Genuinely, I feel like it's not the book. I feel like it's the main, I feel like it's Isla that I'm mad at, not even the story. And if anything, I just feel bad for Oro and Grimm. And I have to move on now or else I'm going to be mad for the rest of the evening. So, alright, I know I said I had it together before, but I'm better now. I can't talk about it anymore though, or else I'm going to get angry again. But all you need to know is that Isla's annoying and she's pissing me off right now. I guess we'll see what happens in book 3, but I'm not doing that right now. So, 1 down. I am now going to try and make some progress. It is, well, let's see what time it is. It's currently 4:08, so I'm halfway through my 4 hours. Although I don't know if I'll be able to commit to the full 4 hours, so we'll see, because we have to make dinner and stuff because we have plans later, like I said. So I'm gonna just try and see how much I can get done before 5 o'clock. So it'll probably only be 3 hours of actual reading, but I'm gonna see how much progress I can make within the next hour on The Hunger of the Gods. I don't want to give anything away necessarily with this, but we are following, like I said earlier, Orca, Varg, and Elvar. They each have their own individual goals that they're trying to accomplish, and none of them have met each other yet. That I remember, none of them have met each other yet. So I'm interested to see if it continues to stay separate throughout all the books, or if they end up like meeting each other. Varg and Orca share a mutual character that they both know, but they have not met each other yet. So I have a feeling that they're going to run into each other at some point during this book. So it'll be interesting to see kind of where this goes. I am only on page 10 of this book, and right now we are in Orca's POV. I think I'm about to end that, and she is in the middle of her own quest right now, trying to find somebody. This is continued over from the first book, so I'm gonna go ahead and try and start reading this again and get into it. I'm gonna pick a different playlist though for this one. I'm just gonna do like epic instrumental music in the background, because I feel like that fits better with the vibe of this. I feel like with epic fantasy, there's so much information that it's like if I have lyrics in the music I'm listening to, I will not be able to focus on what I'm reading. So I listen to this playlist, epic fantasy playlist, or epic fantasy music on Spotify. So I'm gonna see how much progress I can make on that within the next hour, and I will update you then. Okay, I have made it to page 56. This is actually kind of fast-paced for the beginning of a book. I don't know if maybe it's because the first book ended with kind of an action scene and a cliffhanger, so it's picking up there. That's the word. But it feels like it's going much quicker, like there's a lot happening, and I was right. Some of the characters do know each other and have met each other. But anyway, super good so far. Totally a different pace compared to Nightbane, but still really good. I will also say that although not main characters, Orca's, I don't know what to call them, creatures that like live with her, I think it's Velisi and Spurt, are probably the two funniest side characters I've ever read in an epic fantasy novel. I feel like they're so funny. Like Spurt is hilarious, where like he doesn't speak in complete sentences. He just like speaks in like 3-word sentences that like don't fully form a thought. It's pretty funny to see her view of those creatures versus others who have never interacted with them before. But overall, I really like the characters. I think the world building is done super, super well. Every time I pick up another John Gwynne book or continue reading this series, I feel like I just am amazed at the way that he's able to write these novels and like draw me in so quickly and get me immersed into the world. I feel like definitely the playlist helps to get me like geared into that mindset. So if you haven't tried doing that when reading epic fantasy, I highly recommend it. And if you have read any of these books by John Gwynne or the Faithful and the Fallen series, let me know what you think of them and which one was your favorite between the two, because so far this is going to be a hard to beat series. This is super, super good and well done. But anyways, I think that wraps it up for the rest of my video. I think this is what we will end it on. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed reading with me, and I will see you in the next one.